Come on! You think you can take me? Why do I always got...
Top 10 solos. Honestly, who doesn't like top 10 lists? If you don't like them, get out.
What did you say? I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
The reason why I'm doing a top 10 list is in a lot of my videos, I do kind of say I wonder who would win, you know, this guy versus that guy. And one of the reasons why I have a hard time doing that is I do not have enough characters to kind of compare certain people to. I felt that having a top 10 list gives us more of like an in-depth look at some solos that some of you may not have even heard of. So when I do make comparisons videos, it's easier for me to like rank people because now we have a top 10 list to defer to and kind of look at and say, oh, that makes sense, or that doesn't make sense because of the analysis that we have on this list. And you can definitely say, because I am lazy, the top 10 list is in a source book called Solos of Fortune 2. It's right here, and I'm just literally going from top to bottom and just listing it. Okay, of course, I'm going to add my own thoughts and my feelings and talk in details about specific stats.
Because overall, the purpose of this video is not to just showcase, hey, look, there's a top 10 list, but it's more so to help you guys kind of understand that there is a bigger world when it comes to the amount of solos that there actually are in the Cyberpunk universe. So I'm just trying to, I guess, broaden your mindset that, you know, when I talk about the best solos or who the best netrunner is, it's always Raish Bartmoss and Morgan Blackhand and Adam Smasher. Those names are obviously names that we are used to hearing. This list will allow you guys to kind of understand how the very best is separated from just normal kind of, you know, solos. Well, not even normal. These guys, I would say, are still better than normal solos, but it just allows you guys to see that the world is bigger than you thought, because I know that's how I felt. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Okay, so this top 10 list is ranked according to stats. Some of these stats are what we are used to from the video game, and some are new and different. To keep this video nice and concise, I will only talk about the stats that most of us are used to in the game. I'll only bring up different stats if it matters to a specific character. Throughout this video, there may be a lot of lore stuff that just fly over your head, like names of different clubs, corpos, and characters. Stuff you may not have heard of at all. Do not worry, if it is something that has a game reference, I will talk about it. All right, let's get this list started. At number 10, Joshua K, Bodyguard and Assassin. Our boy here is a rising star, one that emerged from the underground of Night City. His most unique qualities are constantly changing his appearance for the job. That's right, he goes full Mission Impossible and uses that face thingy so he can appear as someone else. This is so straightforward, I'm surprised no other solo does it. Also, what? Guys, imagine this is a thing we could do in the game. So instead of playing stealth, it's straight up infiltration. That would be awesome. Anyways, his stats are as follows. For comparison's sake, a generic created solo stat line would look something like this. Just average. Most of the solos in the list will have above average stats in 3 or more areas. You'll notice things like varies, and for our solo Joshua K, it is because he has plot armor and has the ability to change his appearance on the fly. Another thing that I'm just going to point out right now is the max stats seems to be 10, and in the video game it's 20. Based off simple math, moving forward, I'm going to double their stats so that it is more aligned to what we are used to. So from this to this. Because I'm going through this top 10 while trying to help you guys understand how comparable your Vs and your characters are, look at it this way. By the end of the game, a fully maxed out V has enough attribute points to max out 3 out of the 5 attributes, which puts our endgame character somewhere in the bottom half of this list. Next up at number 9 is Taviki, political activist and bodyguard. She is most known for her bombing of Raven Microcyber in Balsam. As for where Balsam is, to be honest, I do not know. I googled it and I found a Middle Eastern estate establishment thing close to where I lived. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. Anyways, she was also responsible for killing 12 mid-level Biotechnica managers. Yay! At first, honestly, did not understand why in her title she had activist, but now I know. She doesn't protest against corpos, she will straight up kill them. Her stats are Intelligence 14, Reflex 22/24, Tech 14, Cool 14, Body 18. Now, she is the first person on this list with a stat value above maximum. And I'm going to take a stab as to why this is actually important. I'm also going to point out that I've never played the tabletop version of this game, so if my logic is wrong, please correct me. Anyways, here goes. When you create a character for Cyberpunk Red, you can have stats up to 10, so 20, but never actually surpass it. However, most of these solos are going to exhibit stats that are on average way higher than that of what actual players can create. And this disparity was intentionally put there by the creators of the game to show how good these solos are, kind of making it so that these guys in the list are legends. Because imagine how lame it would be to create a top 10 list showing how epic some characters are, only to have these legends beat out by generic solos. That would suck. That's my thoughts anyways. Now back to the list. If we take a closer look at Taviki's reflexes attributes, she is obviously above the maximum. In my opinion, this means she has more than the usual amount of perks in the reflexes tab, or the perks in there are able to increase by a few more levels. For example, the Eagle Eye perk, instead of only 3 levels, maybe you can go up to 5. And maybe instead of having an assault tab that covers both shotguns and rifles, the assault tab gets split into 2 for more detailed perks. What do you guys think about that? Would that be a good way to improve character statistics, maybe in the DLC or in future kind of expansions for this game? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, number 8, Susan Forrest, NorCal State Executioner. Her title immediately got me thinking,
this is Dread.
And apparently it's her sole purpose of hunting and killing fugitives that kept her low on this list. Had she been more willing to, I don't know, kill corpos once in a while, she might have moved up. She is also one of the most armed people in all of America. That being said, do not start a bar fight when she is nearby. Now, what's interesting about her is her position as NorCal State Executioner. This is fun because of the current condition of the US, or now technically NUSA, New United States of America. I feel like Americans just add new to anything. Like there's New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey. Okay. Anyways, Night City is technically part of NorCal, but they are an autonomous city, meaning even though they are in the states of Northern California, they are free of the state's laws and by extension, the laws of the country. Like the Vatican City in the middle of Italy, they have their own governing body. So why does this matter? Well, because anyone leaving from Night City entering any part of NorCal can technically be considered a fugitive. And our lady over here likes to hunt them down. So does Johnny leaving Night City at the end mean he'll run into her? Maybe. Her stats are Intelligence 14, Reflex 18, Tech 12, Cool 18, Body 16. Next up is one of my favorite characters when it comes to aesthetics. He is weak as butt, but he still looks pretty damn cool. Shaitan Freelance / anti-corporate. Like I mentioned, he looks so cool. And on top of that, he rocked the Eclipse Covert Operations full conversion suit. Damn, that's a mouthful. This just means that this man is decked out. The coolest thing about this suit is its chameleon system. Yeah, camouflage.
Wait!
This makes Shaitan one of the stealthiest solos around, which makes you wonder, how did he lose to Atom Smasher? Noob. That's why he's only 7th. The nice thing about him is he also hates Arasaka. The fun fact about him is no one knows why. People have speculated that Saburo did something to his family, but we don't know for sure. This man hates Arasaka just cuz. No wonder he joins that Arasaka tower raid. It is also rumored that he sometimes makes up his own missions just to destroy anything Arasaka. That's a true hater right there. As of right now, he's alive and well. Maybe we shall see him in the DLC. His stats are as follows, and they are insane. Intelligence 16, Reflex 30, Tech 16, Cool 18. I'm going to include movement allowance, which is 40, and body 24. All right. So first, some of you may be wondering why I included movement allowance. In this case, I wanted to highlight the fact that he has some insane numbers. Movement allowance in my head is something like how much stamina your character has, or if they have like double jump, or I guess in this case, quadruple jump on. He is as nimble as a ninja. And this matters. If you guys are ever playing and you notice that you run out of stamina while you're swinging your swords, or while you're trying to run away from an enemy, or jumping or whatever, and the stamina is an issue, movement allowance, I feel, is one of those things that is enhanced because of the fact that he is a Borg. And in this case, he does have that full convergence suit on. So I have a feeling that that's the reason why he is as nimble and as quick as he is. Then we take a look at his body and reflexes stats. Both are above the maximum as well. Again, this can be attributed to the fact that he has one of the best full convergence suits, like just laying around. I probably should do a lore video on him because his story is interesting and I do like him. So yeah, we'll do that later. Anyways, he is like that kid with all the cool stuff, but still manages to lose to the boss. At number 6 is Racer Chiba, ACPA Trooper. For those of you who do not know, ACPA stands for Assisted Combat Personal Armor. Yeah, sort of like that. In essence, he's practically cheating. He is in an armored suit. Imagine going up against a Gundam while on a gig. Okay, it's not as big as a Gundam, but still, come on. His stats are Intelligence 20, Reflex 18, Tech 18, Cool 20, and Body 10. So it's actually important to note here the difference between a full conversion suit and a suit, like a mobile suit Gundam thing that you walk into. Our boy here, Racer Chiba, actually physically goes and enters a suit. So the armor itself is an extension of who he is when he is fighting. But if you notice, they did emphasize that his body is only 10, meaning that when he's actually outside of that suit, these are the stats that are, correlated with him. So that's actually very interesting because in my opinion, if this is his stats without the suit, then I would say someone like Shaitan should actually be 6 and Racer Chiba should be 7. Because if he's ever in a fight or if he ever gets caught off guard, and it's not like he's living in the suit unless he is living in the suit, he's at a very big disadvantage when he is not, protected by that armor. So that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, moving on to the top 5 solos. At number 5, we have Jenny Flex. She's just a bodyguard. Okay, guys, I'll be honest. Jenny Flex better be this kind of bodyguard. Only because she's ranked in the top 5. But from what I can find in the source books, she was just a babysitter, a bodyguard. Who was she guarding? Famous rocker boy Johnny Silver. Oh man, she wasn't even guarding anyone we know. She was the bodyguard for some guy named Jack Maximum. Yeah, it sucks. There isn't anything else about this guy. He's not known to be like a rival to Carrie Uridine or Johnny. Yeah, we don't know. And there's not much info about their relationship at all. So again, it just sucks that she's top 5, but we don't have enough context to kind of justify her top 5. The coolest thing about her is she's rumored to be a former CIA agent or a former SEAL member who served in the South American War. To make her cooler in my headcanon, I'm just gonna say she is as good as Black Widow. I know I'm reaching, but this is the only way I can justify her top 5 ranking. Her stats are Intelligence 16, Reflex 18/20, Tech 14, Cool 18, Body 12. And at number 4, we got John Jones, the Manhunter. We have found ourselves a modern day.
That's Jason Bourne.
The reason I say this is in the description they provided for us, and I quote, John Jones does not exist. I have combed databases, exhausted a formidable expense account, and called in a lot of favors. The result? No one has ever seen him. Ooh. All right, the other crazy thing about him is apparently he is out there doing good guy things, like a vigilante, a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight. All joking aside, he is out there helping families. Want some proof? He has rescued 30 kidnapped or missing children, 6 cyber psycho patients. Guys, cyber psycho, Joker, Psycho, Batman, anyone? No? Okay. And 5 or 6 drug addicts. I actually truly laughed at the fact that they included 5 or 6 drug addicts. It kind of just shows how dated these source books were written. And honestly, I just imagine him running into the gym and slapping the syringe off a juicer's hand, and that just made me laugh. Okay, but seriously, we have found ourselves the guy who wants to make good changes in a bad world. He deserves a pat on the back for sure. And just because he's doing smaller gigs, that does not mean his stats are lacking. Oh no sir. Intelligence 14, reflex 20, tech 12, cool 20, body 28. His body is pretty high, not because he's a Borg, but rather he has muscle and bone reinforcements. I kind of know, well, I do know that they do this in the game, but imagine having a boost to your attribute points because of how like good your cyberware is. Please, CDPR, add this to the game. And then there were 3. At second runner-up, we got ourselves Lance Rock, or honestly, Brad Pitt. His character profile is about an ex-Marine who was so good looking he got into films. Rock Lance had the flair, he had the swag and the looks, but not only was he pretty, he was deceitful. On this list, he is probably the most vain and arrogant and snake-like Solo. He uses his looks to seduce rich and powerful women. In one scenario, he was hired as a personal bodyguard to Penny Prurient. Don't dig into her name too much, I already did and I found absolutely nothing. Anyways, she was explained to be a very wealthy and rich person. And on one night, she dies in her bedroom. And for some reason, the 3rd ranked Solo, her personal bodyguard, was not with her. Coincidence? I think not. His stats are intelligence 16, reflex 18, tech 14, cool 20, body 12/20. Interesting to point out here, I know I've been doing a lot of slashes, but his gap here with his body attribute points from 12 to 20 is the most drastic. I think that just has to do when he's kind of doing like his like galas or his like parties. You know, he's not probably wearing like Kevlar armor or walking around with those kind of suits. So maybe during those events, his body is, you know, at 12. So he's definitely more vulnerable at those moments. But when he is doing a mission and actually doing his job, his body is maxed out. So that is kind of interesting to point out. All right, at numero dos, we got a Legend of Night City. Captain Andrew Boba Wayland, Petrochem, and Water Leopards. Damn guys, it's Squama's dad. This is awesome. When I first read and found out that solos are usually linked to corpos, it was refreshing to find someone as popular as Andrew Wayland to be associated with a company that was not Militech or Arasaka. This expands the world and introduces other dimensions. It is definitely welcomed in the lore. Please do more of this. Does this mean that Petrochem is now going to be a big part of the video game moving forward? Honestly, I don't think so, because technically, you know, Captain Andrew Boba Wayland is dead. But it is possible for Petrochem to make an appearance in the upcoming anime. Check out this video for more details. Long story short, I talked about how Petrochem may be involved in the series' plot. Anyways, from what we know, like I mentioned, Andrew is dead. To be honest, I can't confirm it anywhere except for a plaque in the columbarium. But if we use anime logic / TV logic, if we didn't see him die, then he must be alive. So damn, maybe he's Mr. Blue Eyes. All joking aside, there are a few characters that are dead, but they're actually alive, so there is that. As I mentioned before, Captain Andrew Wayland is a renowned solo. He's fought against some of the greatest. Most importantly, he fought against the god himself, Morgan Blackhand, and he lived to tell the tale. The important thing to note here is that the book states that Andrew survived, personal confrontations with Morgan Blackhand. Now, why use the word survive if they are equals? His stats are Intelligence 16, Reflex 20, Tech 12, Cool 20, Body 20/24. Damn, look at all those stats. This man is a beast. All right. So at number 1, we got, obviously it was Morgan Blackhand. Was there any doubt? Look, I made an entire video on him, so go check that out for more details. But I'm different now. I know a little more stuff. So let's break it down. You guys will see in a second, but I kind of lied to you when I said that, stats determines your rank. If that was the case, then someone like Shayton would actually be closer to the top 5 than being at 7th. And someone like Andrew Whalen would actually be 1st and not Morgan Blackhand. But there is one thing I kind of left out. The solo class has some strings attached to it. Not only do your stats matter, but also your reputation and your adaptability. What kept Whalen from the top spot and others from reaching higher ranks was their single-minded approach to the solo lifestyle. If you guys think back, I said about like Susan Forrest, and she was just very like one-track minded in terms of what her job and what her role was, which was hunting and killing fugitives. She did not like interfere with corpo stuff at all. They were very one-dimensional. This limited like a lot of these solos' reputation. For example, although Blackhand is heavily involved with Militech, he is also known for things like rescuing Carrie Uridine and not killing a single kidnapper. Yeah, he has finesse and the smarts to pull stuff off like that on a daily basis. I mean, really, what else is there to say? Even on Reddit and CDPR's forum pages, he's basically like this legend god-like person. Of course, there's the whole thing with him being Mr. Blue Eyes. Personally, I still don't agree. Just my opinion. He is also being constantly used as a measuring stick. If you want to be the best, you gotta beat the best. And that is where guys like Ken Zaburo and Adam Smasher come in. Their lore and reputation rests on the fact that both men fought Morgan Blackhand into some sort of stalemate, not merely surviving like Whalen. Speaking of which, why aren't those guys on the list? More of that in a second. For now, here is Blackhand's stats. Intelligence 18, Reflex 20, Tech 16, Cool 20, Body 24. It is important to point out that these stats are merely estimates, as no agency has been able to quantify Mr. Blackhand's stats. That's even more epic, and it also makes sense. You can't measure the immeasurable. He is too good. So now let's talk about the honorable mentions, the 2 characters I think that should be on the list, but they aren't. First, a quick aside on who Ken is, because I'm sure all of you know who the other guy is. Ken is, or was, the personal bodyguard of Michiko Arasaka, Kei's daughter. She, like all the Arasaka family members, had their own guard, and hers was Ken Zaburo. Like I mentioned earlier, he is only known for the fact that he fought Blackhand into a stalemate. That's pretty epic. Based off that info alone, he should be on like the top 3 easily. Then there is Adam Smasher, Morgan's one and true rival. This is not clearly stated by Blackhand, but because of Adam's philosophy of machine is better than flesh, Morgan gets dragged into it. Essentially, Adam Smasher believes Morgan to being the very top of the flesh pyramid, or technically those who are still human. And of course, the top of the machine or cyborgs is Adam Smasher. I do think though that Morgan is somewhat motivated by this challenge, because he does not deny any of it, he just continues to duke it out with Smasher. So why aren't these 2 on the list? I think it has to do with the fact that most people on the list are considered not to be bad guys, where anyone or most anything associated with Arasaka would be the bad guys. That happens to be the case with both Ken Zaburo and Adam Smasher. But wait, there's more. One Anastasia Lucchesi, the granddaughter of Antonio Lucchesi. Who this, you might be asking? Antonio is technically the founder of Militech. At the time, it was called Armatech. So how come his granddaughter is someone I believe that should be on the list? Listen to this. Anastasia was a special operations natural and has become one of Militech's most dangerous agents. She is darkly and seductively beautiful, merciless, and adept at several forms of combat. Female Morgan, anyone? The fact that they say has become one of Militech's most dangerous agents is telling enough, because I would say even Blackhand would be one of those agents.
Honestly, I'm not sure why she missed the cut. Maybe it had to do with which book was published first, but I do believe she can hold her own against anyone on this list. That is that. Let me know what you guys think of the list. Are there characters who you would include? Did this list help out at all? And of course, if you have any comments, please post them. I enjoy having the Cyberpunk lore discussions and am willing to talk further. That is it for me in this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you click that thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.